Chris Lieto has a not-so-secret weapon. It's his ability to ride his bike faster than any other triathlete in the world. He has set bike course records at Ironman Canada, Japan, and Malaysia, to name just a few. In Kona, Chris has been first off the bike the past 3 years and has the second fastest bike split in Kona history, 4:18:32. In this episode, we get to tag along with Chris as he takes us on one of his favorite bike rides out to the coastal town of Hawaii. He has learned over time that it's one thing to put in the long training miles, but to ride fast, you have to always focus on wattage and pace if you want to get better. We asked Chris about his strategy for overcoming the elements on the toughest bike course in the Ironman series. So one of the things, when I talk to Craig Alexander, talk to Chris McCormick, they always talk about from 90 miles on, Lieto's going to gain a bunch of ground on us, you know, from 90 on in. Mainly, I think a lot of the times those guys are sitting up a little bit, getting ready for the run. Yeah. And at that point, is it a conscious thing on your part to try to put more ground on between 90 and 112, or is it just something that happens?
Yeah, it's just something that happens. I mean, I'm riding my race, I'm riding my ride, really just dosing how much power I put in from the beginning until the end, and we try to keep it constant the whole way. You know, they do ease up a little bit and they do get tired. You know, everyone from mile 90 on are exhausted. I'm exhausted. And so you just try to maintain that. The biggest factors of this course is going to be the heat. The heat can get up to 94 out here in town, but out on the highway you get that radiant heat from the fields and the lava. You're surrounded by black sea of rock. Also the wind, there's no course like it where the winds can blow as hard as they blow here. So the first hour is very important to make sure you do not go too hard and to make sure you get your nutrition and your fluids in and your calories in. The middle part of the bike ride, or the meat and potatoes out the course, is definitely to set your pace and be constant in that. And then the last hour of the bike course is also very important to look at my watts on my bike to make sure that I'm still performing where I want to perform, to make sure that my pace is still where I want to be. You know, every year it's a little bit different because you have to be a little bit more tactical now on the men's race, and so you have to adjust things a little bit differently and learn, you know, how much time do I want to get? What's everyone else doing? Are they riding in a group atmosphere to conserve for the run? So every year is a little bit different, but you have to adjust to it, and I'm always just riding my ride. And if it gets me 5 minutes or if it gets me 10 minutes, that's what I was given at that time. And I was always shooting for running a low 250 marathon, and that was what I was capable of. And the majority of the time, or in the last few years, if I was to do that, I would have been close to winning or winning. Today we're going to do a bike workout that really will help you focus on Ironman or half Ironman. We're going to focus on our effort and sustained effort. We're going to do a warm-up of 30 to 60 minutes, build in your efforts. Do 2 minutes easy, then 2 minutes moderate, and then 2 minutes fast. Make sure that your legs are open, and so it's very important to focus on warming up your body and preparing yourself to make sure that you can get quality in your workout. So 4 by 20 minutes, the first 5. You're gonna be a little bit slower than the pace that you wanna do. 10 minutes at that pace, and then 5 minutes faster than that pace. So everything is looking at progressing through your workout as you would do in a race as well. You don't wanna go out too fast in a race, you wanna build in it. And then if you're doing an Ironman, like for me, I would build up to that, would be 4 by 60 minutes, where I do 10 minutes slightly below my Ironman pace, and then I'll do 40 minutes at that Ironman pace, and then finish with 10 minutes at like a half Ironman pace. The biggest improvement that I had on the bike was when I started to focus on my wattage and not just on heart rate. So that way with wattage, you know exactly where you are, you know you can watch it and see if you're slowing down. It's just all about finding measurements in your workout to note And then when you go back at it and you do that workout again to see, am I seeing any improvements? Am I doing these workouts correctly? One of the great tips that I would say for this course especially is we're going to see a lot of winds in most cases, usually up towards Hawaii, the wind's blowing. And how do you ride in the wind? And when you're going up, if the wind's blowing from the side and it's gusting and you're in the aero bars, you kind of have to commit to being in that, and you don't want to be half in, half out. When you're applying pressure and continually pushing yourself forward, you're going to cut through the wind. If you hesitate and coast and stop pedaling is when you're going to get blown around the most. If the wind's getting too much, then get on the hoods and do the same thing, but you kind of just have to commit to it and just go for it.
In our next episode, Chris takes us through some of his core and strength workouts and the value of recovery.